Hi, I'm Dale Furtwängler and I teach confidence. And today we're going to talk about the second level of confidence, the ability to convert confidence into influence and opportunity. And this involves overcoming some natural tendencies that plague us all by virtue of our humanity. In this particular case, we're going to talk about the persuasion myth. As we grow up, we're often told that if you want to be successful, you need to be persuasive. You need to be able to influence other people's thinking. And the way we typically go about that, our natural tendency, if you will, is to use logic and facts to convince others. And the reality is that that approach has a 75% chance of creating resistance for the very idea that you're trying to sell. Now, if you doubted what I just said, you just proved my point. But let's take a look at what the possible outcomes are when we use a statement of fact to convince somebody. So let's assume that I make a statement of fact and you've got the same facts. Are you going to resist my idea? No. We're on the same page. We have had the same experience, so there's not going to be any resistance at all to what I'm saying. Scenario number two. I make a statement of fact and you've got a different set of facts. Your experience has been different than mine, and consequently, you don't believe what I'm saying. You're definitely going to resist that. Not only are you going to resist my idea, but in all likelihood, you're going to try to convince me that I'm wrong. Third scenario, I make a statement of fact, and you don't like the facts. It's not that they're inaccurate. You just don't like them. Again, you're going to resist because that's not what you want to hear. Fourth scenario, I make a statement of fact, and you don't have a frame of reference to evaluate what I'm saying. You don't have any contextual framework to use to know whether what I'm saying is accurate or not. In essence, then, I'm asking you to trust me. And trusting others is not something we do readily, and trusting blindly almost never happens. So, what's the key? How do we overcome this natural tendency when we're going to create resistance for our ideas 75% of the time? And we just saw that in 3 of the 4 scenarios, I created resistance. So how do we overcome this? The simple answer is this. You allow ideas to come to you as they normally do in statement form. And then just before you say anything, pause for a moment and add a phrase at the beginning to convert it to a question. Ask the person, is it true that? And then make your statement of fact. If you're going to disagree with somebody, ask, well, how would that work in this situation? Or what would happen if? And what you're doing with these questions is you're getting people to reevaluate their thinking. And as they go through the thought process, assuming you're correct, they're going to come to the same conclusion you have. But here's the difference. As they reach that conclusion, they're validating that conclusion with their own experiences. In essence, they're persuading themselves. That's how you gain influence. That's how you create opportunities for yourself. Because when you are seeing things that other people don't see, and this is what happens, this is what you hear when you develop this capability at the second level of confidence. People will say to you, you don't think like other people do. You look at the world differently than other people do. You see things other people don't see, and yet what you say makes perfect sense. When you get a reputation for seeing things that other people don't see, they want you involved in their initiatives. They seek your advice readily. All of those things create opportunities for you. And what you'll find is that instead of pursuing opportunities, you're going to attract them. Enjoy.